Start right now with your war experiences. How did all that start?
I was selected in October of
Let's speak up.
40, and then in March of 41 I was selected for the military service.
What'd the letter say?
It says, "You have been selected by your friends and neighbors, etc., etc." And it was come so long,
Right.
and I never saved it. And
So where'd you take basic?
and then in March 10 of 41, I was sent to Syracuse to the hotel's name now, and given a physical exam, and then they fingerprinted me, and I asked the sergeant if I was him. He said, "Did I take your fingerprints?" I says, "Yes." "You're in." So March 10 at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the church bell was ringing to 4 o'clock, and I was sworn into the military. And from there, we were put aboard buses and sent to Fort Niagara,
Where's that?
New York State.
No.
And we were in New York, in Fort Niagara, New York State, for 3 days. And then at the end of the third day, we were put aboard a train and we went to Camp Lee, Virginia. And at Camp Lee, Virginia, we were given an exam for how smart you were. I can't think of
Yeah, there's a test there.
the intelligence quotient or something,
Yeah.
or the IQ test or something. And we had those, and then also after that, we were lined up, and as your name was called, the sergeant from the company was supposed to be there to receive you. So actually there was only two of us, Al Roberts and myself, were the two remaining members. Everybody else had been selected and gone. And we were there, and we kept waiting, and we said, "What are we supposed to be doing?" And this is, "Well, your sergeant is supposed to pick you up." "Well, there's no sergeant here." "Well, you just wait." We waited. I forget, anywhere about an hour before we finally got a sergeant who was in his cuffs. And so he took us to the Company E of the 6th Training Regiment. And from there, we were issued GI clothing and bedding, and we were given a bed, a cot. And that's where we took some basic. They gave us close order drill, taught you how to salute, and all that. And you're supposed to say, "Yes, sir." And when a commissioned officer went by, you were duty bound to salute.
You still remember how to do it? And that's it? How many fingers?
You used 4 fingers.
Oh.
You just brought it up. If they taught you to go way like this and do it.
I see.
Yeah, I used to just go let it go at that.
I see.
And the barracks held 250 GIs. The training sergeant had his own bedroom. The rest of us, the cots were lined up, and there was a first floor and a second floor. We were on the first floor. And then the bugle was blown at 6 a.m. You were expected to get up. Then clean, shower, and then at 7 o'clock, you were marched over to the mess hall. There you had breakfast. And from there, you went back to barracks and you waited for their orders. And that's when the training sergeant would line us up and teach us how to line up in military manner and all that. And there then they gave us, we had physical exercises. You started with physical exercises from your neck down, neck, arms, hips, knees, and we had that for approximately an hour. Then we went back to the barracks for about a 15-minute break. Then they called you back out again, and either we went for a short hike or something of that nature. And that was pretty much the rudiments of the training.
How long did that last? 6 weeks, 8 weeks?
That lasted, I can't remember. Was it? See, that would be April, May, June, approximately 3 months. And then we were all lined up, and they sent you to the various companies. And we were been trained and gone. Al and I were issued, we had to go to Camp Blanding, Florida. And that's, we were in the company. And there we had more close order drill. Then we also worked in the post laundry. And there you folded sheets, you ironed shirts, you pressed pants, and whatever. And if didn't have enough for you to do, then they had you wash windows or whatever. You always had a whatever, no matter what.
There's something to do.
Yep. And, we were there, and I was working post laundry for a while, and then Tim Kelly was working as a clerk in the company office. And then one day I was called in and said I was going to be the clerk because Tim Kelly had been shipped off to officers candidate school. So then I was part of the office. And we were there until the 42. We were sent out on cadre, and I went out as company clerk. We went to Fort Bastrop, Texas. And there we had basic training going on there also. And from there, we had to transfer down to Fort Clark, Texas, which was in Brackettville, Texas. And we had intensive training there. Hikes, timeout.
Okay.
Clark, Texas, and we did not have any mobile laundry units. We were set up as a mobile laundry company. And I've forgotten a month. But anyhow, we were there. We went intensive training. We were out going on hikes. And then in December 7, 41, war was declared. That was, we were still in Florida at that time. So we have to backtrack on that. We were in Florida, we were working in the post laundry and that until December 7, 41, war was declared. And then in February 42, they had gone home on furlough, and that's when they started intensive training again. And we had sometime in approximately January of 42, we went to set out on Cadre to, that's when we went to, I can't think of the name, for some reason Camp Wood sticks in my mind, but I'm not sure of that one.
Yeah.
We were there, and I know we were stationed at Bastrop, Texas, or whatever camp was in that area. That was the camp we were at. And then they shipped us to Fort Clark, Texas.
Uh-huh.
We were in Fort Clark, Texas, minding our own business, and we put us on real intensive training. And had us out in the field, bivouacked out in the field, to get you used to living in two-man tents and things of that nature.
So what were they teaching you besides just survival, that kind of thing? And
just about. You were just out there. They really had no specified training at that time. They didn't even know. All they would say is that take them out on a hike. And that just about was. And then we went out to the bivouac area. They would march us out there, and then we would pitch our two-man tents and stay in the two-man tents for a specified period of time. Then we came back to the compound, to the company area again. And then from there we were minding our own business, and they said, you're being transferred to Camp Edwards, Massachusetts. And this was in April of 43.
mm-hmm.
We went up to Camp Edwards, and within a matter of days, the order came down that we were going to New York City. And we figure out what was in New York City. Not even thinking, but the old man, the Captain Marlowe, it had said that these were the orders. We were going by train to New York City, and you would be handled down there what has to be done. So we got on board train, got down there, and we got down to the port, which at that time I didn't know what anything was. And I saw this large gray wall.
Yeah.
And so we kept walking and walking. And there we had sub-Thompson machine gun, and we had our B bag, and we had our C bag, and our A bag had been packed for something else. And we were dragging these bloody things around. And then all of a sudden I saw this little opening, and I realized it was a ship, and we were going on it.
Mm-hmm.
So April 29 of 1943, we boarded the ship. It was the Kungsholm, a Swedish ship.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 10,000 troop ship, and we got on that. And at 6 o'clock in the morning, we got underway, April 29. It took 13 days to reach Mers El Kabir, which is the port for the city of Oran.
That's in Morocco?
That's in Algiers.
Or Algiers.
And so we landed there, and they marched us off the ship, and they put us on trucks, and they took us to Fleurus, F-L-E-U-R-U-S, Algiers, and then that was a staging area. So we were there, and we didn't even pitch our two-man tents. We got so used to sleeping on the ground, and instead of horsing around with a bloody tent and all like that, each of us just covered ourselves with the half tent that we had.
Yeah.
And we were there for something like 15 days or something like that. And then it went just outside of Oran, and we were working as port battalions. Our units had not come, and Captain was busy trying to scout up what happened to our mobile laundry units.
Right.
Now, a mobile laundry unit was a trailer, and on the trailer you had the boiler, you had a storage tank for water, and you also had a washer, clothes washer, clothes extractor, and a clothes dryer.
Mm-hmm.
And so the boiler heated the water,
Would the boiler run on oil or
and the boiler ran on oil.
diesel?
All I know, it was oil.
Yeah.
And then we worked on I didn't, I was a company clerk, so that I was in the office. But the rest of them would be down on the port, working all day. And from there, we got notice that our units had landed in Beirut. So our I forget what the hell we call it, but it was, these guys were the ones that took care of the trucks, and
Yeah.
it'll come to me after
Yeah,
a
your
while.
fleet people.
And so Al Roberts was was in charge of that. So he and the bunch of drivers went up to Beirut to bring their the laundry units down to us.
How did they get there?
They were just board trucks.
To Beirut, Lebanon from Algiers?
Yeah.
They drove all the way across the Sahara Desert and...
Well, I don't know if it's in the Sahara Desert or not. I've forgotten what the distance was between Oran and Beirut.
Well, it's got to be pretty far. At that time, then, the Germans were already out of there.
They had been they had lost the war, period. That's when Montgomery had taken over.
So they were already gone by then.
Oh, yeah,
so
I
that
saw
area was
them.
clear.
Oh yeah, this we landed. I forget what date it was, but 2 days after we landed, peace was declared in North Africa. The Germans had been given up, and I remember being down at the port at the time, and they had these thousands of German troops going by, and they were marching. They were not just slugging around or anything like that. You see them in the movies, they're just dragging like
Yeah.
these youngsters were all right there, and they marched right past us. And after we received our units, then we set up as a mobile laundry company.
Uh-huh.
And what we did is that these farmers there had cement tanks. I don't know how large they were, but what we did is we set up our units near those and started using the water from there.
Yeah, well.
And we were being charged for that water. If they weren't paid, the water was shut off. And so we just kept busy doing all that.
So, Mom, what was going on in Sherburne through all this?
Nothing was going on in Sherburne, actually. You know, all the boys were gone. There was 3 Maranos in the service alone. Uncle Eddie was in the service. All the guys that we knew were in the service.
Uncle Arm was there
Uncle
also.
Erman, well, Uncle Erman, no. Uncle Erman wasn't in that one because he went to Newfoundland, and he didn't
Eddie.
get in. Yeah,
Eddie went to Newfoundland.
yeah. Who we talking about?
You talked about
oh,
Erman.
my brother.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was too young.
Oh,
Okay.
so he fought in
he went to
Korea.
Germany
Oh.
and Austria, because
He
that's where
was-
he sent the gifts from.
That's right, but he did not get in.
He did not get in
No,
any
he-
fighting or anything. He must have gone in quite a bit after you. I don't remember when Uncle Erman went in. Because I was,
He could have been involved with Korea, but he was sent to Germany instead of
Yeah.
Korea.
right. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Yes, because I was married when Erman was in the service.
Right.
That's right. Got that. We were married when Uncle Erman went in the service. And
So Sherburne's basically half empty.
half emptied. There was a lot of work in the mill, of course, because all the guys had to go, like your dad and all the other fellas.
Not all the guys.
Well,
Just the
some
dumb ones.
guys didn't
Just the
go
dumb ones.
that were
The smart ones
the
stayed
smart
there.
ones, right? Gokowski boy and
Mhm.
Julian Morrow, they didn't get to go.
Julian finally won.
Did he finally
Yeah,
get in?
Stanley never got him.
I can't
Roy
remember.
was gone, but Chet was still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dad, why didn't your other brothers go? So it was just you, Uncle George, and who?
See, George was in the regular army. He had signed up in July of '40.
Right.
All right, so then
He was in the first army. He was
The
He
first
was-
cavalry.
No, in
yeah.
First
First
Infantry
infantry.
Division. And he was stationed at Fort Hamilton
Right.
when this came about. And with me, I was stationed in Camp Landing when December 7th came.
Right.
Now, I don't know where George was. We've never, see, we never had much contact with each other.
Yeah. And then who else? Which one of the other brothers was in the army?
Then Louis went.
Now, how come Uncle Frank didn't knock out?
Did he have a perforated eardrum or
no,
something?
he had two
Oh,
youngsters.
Johnny had a perforated eardrum.
John had a perforated eardrum, and Ernie had a perforated
I don't know.
eardrum.
Frank might have been too old.
He had two youngsters.
Yeah, and he probably was old enough
Well, he was deferred because of family.
because of what?
Family.
Well, I didn't remember that. But Uncle Ernie was too young.
Yeah.
Well, he had a perforated eardrum.
Yeah, but he was old enough to go in the army in that
Yeah.
war, was he?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
What year was Ernie born?
I don't know.
What year was Florence born?
George was born in 22,
Right. So Ernie was born
23,
21.
21,
Mm.
21, that's right. Yeah. So there wasn't much going on in Sherburne because most of the guys were gone, but the mill was running full blast, you know, we had no problem at getting work because all the guys were gone.
Yeah.
We had to fill in.
So where was Uncle Louis during all of this?
Well, Louis worked in Norwich. He was married.
Yeah, but he went off to the war, you said, right?
Well, that's
He
right.
went to
Well,
India.
the thing that he was picked,
Oh.
when he was drafted, I don't know where he went, but he ended up in India. And he was in a bakery outfit.
Huh.
George was with the 1st Infantry Division, so naturally this was when they say the 1st Infantry, that was the 1st Division ever formed in the colonies.
Yeah.
And he went to, I know that he came to Fort Blanding, Camp Blanding at the time. The 1st Infantry came down there for intensive training, and then also the 29th Infantry Division came down to Blanding for intensive training.
Yeah.
Now we didn't know it at the time, but they were preparing them for the North African invasion.
Yeah.
And George landed at St. Cloud, North Africa. It was just outside of Oran. And their objective was to get to Oran and think of the name of the airport. And they captured the airport. They had some firing against them, but they finally got that all straightened out.
Yeah.
And the so-called ones that were not affiliated, but were with the Germans, they finally gave up.
Yeah.
And then the 1st Infantry was there, and from there they went to El Guitar, and they got clobbered in Kasserine Pass. Sometime or another you'll probably hear about that.
Yeah.
And then Eisenhower had Patton take over the Corps, Army Corps. And what other divisions were in it, I don't know. I know the 1st Infantry was in it. And he straightened that out, and that's when they started their march to get to Beirut. And when they got to Beirut, then that's when the peace was declared, whatever you want to call it. And then the 1st Infantry was transferred back to Oran. And as much as they captured the city, they had them down there, and they gave them R&R.
Yeah.
And then they went there to Sicily. Our outfit was originally scheduled to go to Sicily.
Right.
But then the Corps commander didn't want our company to go there because we were always doing a better job than the other ones. I'm not bragging, we're just going ahead and we really put the work out and had everything there. So the Corps commander did not like the idea of losing us, so he sent a black coat into Sicily. And then from George came back to us, or not. I saw George twice in North Africa. And then I didn't see him again after the war was over.
Yeah.
So from there, finally, we were attached to the 5th Army. And then we went into Italy.
Right.
And we landed at Naples. We stayed in Naples pretty much overnight. We slept on, and then the air raid was coming over. The Germans were coming in, bombing the port of Naples.
Yeah.
And we were shipped inland to, half was went to Francois and half went to Sparanese. And we set up near Creek to get the water, and we washed clothes. And from there, then we moved up to south of Rome. And from south of Rome, we moved up to just outside of Bologna. We were supposed to end up in winter in Bologna, but we never broke the German line there.
Uh-huh.
And after it broke through in the spring, then we moved up to San Piero. And we were there. And the name escapes me. And we were D-Day, we were there, and I never have seen as many planes as I did that day. For every plane up, wherever planes were, I guess they were in the air for D-Day.
Yeah, sure.
Because they were putting on a feint there to pretend that to keep the Germans off balance.
Yeah.
They didn't know whether there was going to be a concerted rush there in Italy, and as against also in France, and southern France, they had all these things going on. And wherever the airfields were, it was the 8th Air Force was in our area. They were in I forget where they landed, where the original landing site was, just south of Naples. And so the 8th Air Force was set up down there somewhere, and
Yeah.
so when D-Day came along, then all their planes were up in the air. And like I said, I don't think you could have split between any of those planes up there. That's how close they were.
Yeah. So where did you go from there? I mean, so the war ends about a year later, right? Not
On
even.
May 5th, the war ended, and I had 85 points. That's for years of service, plus the Good Conduct Medal, plus battle stars for the various battles that we were in. Were set up for 3 of them. And so we were transferred out of the laundry company. And the laundry company was reformed. They added recruits to it. And they had been put aboard ship and were being sent to the Japanese area. And by that time, they were out in the air, on the ocean somewhere. When peace was declared with Japan.
Right.
So they got home before I did.